I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully, everybody is doing well as we're going to welcome in the new year just right around the corner from today. And so, hopefully, everybody is doing well. And thank you for joining us today for sure. As we kind of talk about this subject, I'm going to let several of the people come in, let notifications go out, and do the whole thing. Hi, Juan. How are you doing? Um, and we will let the notifications come in and give just a little bit of update while we're kind of waiting for all that to come in. Tomorrow, we're going off to service. My son-in-law had a family member pass away, so we're going to go support him. And my daughter and their family. By the way, it is my son-in-law's birthday today, so I wished him a happy birthday for sure. So he is having a birthday today, so we wish him certainly happy birthday. And you will see that there is a live stream on Thursday. We're going to talk about how to turn your YouTube channel into a legacy channel, even if you don't want to get it monetized. Then also we're going to talk Friday about, I have to think, what's Friday? Oh, about making every moment a legacy. And then on Saturday, we're going to show you all some of the merch. Now, the merch store is going to be a work in progress for sure. Alfonso and I are going to kind of work on it Friday afternoon. So not everything is going to be up. Well, several of the new designs we've come up with will be in the store, at least for shirts. We'll get them on cups and all that kind of stuff. We have a yard flag, a garden flag that we have the llama saying on. So we're going to work on it. It really is going to be something that is going to be a work in progress. We're going to be adding things and so forth. Hi, Zia. Hopefully I said that right. Welcome on in. You could put hashtag blessed in the chat if you like people to connect with your channel. So we're going to be doing that and talking about that on Saturday, showing the new merch and also really focusing on why that saying about, be proud of being you because everyone else is taken. We're going to really kind of dive into that saying, show you the new merch, show you the new logo. Again, it's not like we talked about last night. We're not just taking New Year doesn't mean we renovate our whole self. It means we're building on what we already are. We're making ourselves better. We're tweaking stuff that worked. We're tweaking stuff that didn't work. We're adding on to ourselves, not just taking everything down. And that's kind of what we did with the logo. We love the logo. There's things about the logo we love and we didn't want to lose it, but we wanted to build onto it. That's exactly what we did. Tomorrow at 8 p.m., there's going to be a video out that's going to be released. It's going to be to members first for the first 2 hours and then off to everybody else. It doesn't mean that your chances are any less or few or more or that kind of thing, but we're just going to do that. But we're going to do a video for anybody that's interested. As long as you're in the United States and the lower 48, you have to be subscribed to this channel. That's going to be another thing. And you have to be 18 years or older. This is not affiliated with YouTube. We have Dog the Bounty Hunter hat. And as you can see, he signed it. Actually, it's this way. I need to show it. He signed it, as you all can see. He signed it, and this will be the giveaway. I did the video last night. This will be the giveaway with either a $10 Amazon gift card. This was done donated by Faith and Tackle for us to buy the hat for Dog to sign it. And then it'll be either a $10 Hobby Lobby gift card or Amazon, depending on which one you want, and 2 of our soap caddies. So that will be out. That will run from December 31st through until January 31st. Now, with that being said, I've gotten a little bit behind with the devotions and the Advent devotions, and with that going out, I'm not going to want to put too many videos, at least for the first couple of weeks, on that video, kind of like we had to do with Fall Fest. So I'm not going to want to like do too many things and too many poor things on that and then lose that giveaway. So what I'm going to do is get them all recorded, and I will put them up for members first, and then I'll wait a couple weeks, and then we'll kind of finish the rest of the Advent towards the end of the year. The end of January, we'll get them all out, but I don't want to bury that. Also, it will be a video that will be pinned to our page when people are first coming in and when they return. So that's a video that'll help it not to be buried so much. So I'm trying to get a couple out before that hits. We'll see. I have one coming out tomorrow talking about the new, we're refining ourselves. We're not making a new you, kind of from a faith-based perspective. So we did that last night kind of as a generic, but then I dived into it a little bit more from a faith-based perspective, and we'll be putting that out tomorrow too as well. So there's just a couple things. Again, given the YouTube to just spread it on out, and certainly give us some time for sure to get it. And then we will start back with Hi Indigo, with our shout outs, and all of those will be all moderators. Any moderators that have a channel, I will just be taking the first start of the 2026 shout outs, and they will all be our moderators just to say thank you. And that's what I'll continue from this point forward to as well, to make the first week of the new year, just until, even if it takes 2 weeks to go through all our moderators, we just want to say thank you for sure. So there's just a couple housekeeping rules. So let's kind of get into this topic. And the topic today is choosing connection over perfection this year. And I really think that we miss the mark sometime when we realize that connection really honestly is something that can be hugely helpful for things on numerous levels. I do believe that you can't really, for the most, unless you're a superstar or something and you've got some clout behind you. For instance, if, a star, like Candace Cameron, she started a YouTube channel, she'd have something like that. If Sadie Robertson had it, she'd have her subscribers very quickly because she's got the name behind it. But I do believe that if you're just an ordinary Joe, right? Hi Ace, you're an ordinary Joe. You really do need to use connection as a way in order to build your YouTube channel. Because if you connect with people, that is how you're going to build it. And I'm not talking about I'm just talking about that one aspect of it. Connection helps with pain. If you're dealing with a chronic illness, I do believe that YouTube can be a source of connection. It doesn't mean that you don't do it face to face. You're not inviting people over, finding people within your community, finding people within your church community. But for instance, yesterday was miserable out. I don't think many people were going on the roads, and it's not really that fun today either. I mean, it's got a lot of snow on the ground, and we have to go out tomorrow. My husband's really kind of not looking forward to that whole thing. We're going to leave a little bit early just to make sure that we can take our time to get where we need to go. But, depending on where you live and even further up, there are places that are snowed in today. They can't necessarily go outside. So they've found communities in with these YouTube streets that have been a source of comfort and just having that and, having that friendship. I found people like, people that I have been able to connect with that have become friends, that have become, people that I just am so thankful with that are in my life. And I don't have sisters and brothers. I sure have them now because they've really come together like that. So let's look at this as we're going into this new year. When we consistently told to improve, optimize, and get everything right, right? We got to be in the in crowd. I was never one of those kids. I don't know about you, but I was never one of those kids in the in crowd. I was never one of them that was in the club, right? I was always somebody that was like a little bit more, had a little bit more, wasn't the thinnest girl, wasn't had liked Elvis, liked the older kind of music. I wasn't in all this new stuff, right? And so, it was hard to find those connections. And I think that we need to realize for the first and foremost is, of course, to be proud of who you are. You have to be proud of who you are first. You have to get to the core to say, I'm me. There is nobody else like me. We have got to stop comparing ourselves to everybody else in the world. We can only be ourselves. We can't be anybody else. And if there's only one, you can't compare it to anything else. I have an Elvis picture that I won one year when I was at Graceland. It's a beautiful picture. It's one of a kind. There is never one picture that I have found that Elvis took that looks like that picture. I love it. It's worth, it's priceless to me because I just love it. But there's no other picture like that I have seen any place of him taking. It's one of a kind. Nobody else has it. I can't compare it to another picture Elvis took because it literally is the only one I've ever seen of him taking. So we've got to stop comparing ourselves to anybody else. When we get to the point of it to say, guess what? I can't compare myself to this person or that person or this person or that person. Because guess what? I am only myself. There's nobody else like me. I'm one of a kind. How can you compare one of a kind? You cannot compare one of a kind. But chasing perfection often costs us relationships and peace. Right? I don't know about you, but when you go out on a first date, right? You want everything to just be perfect. You try to, if you're a girl, sometimes you order a little salad, right? Or something. You want everything to be perfect. And as the relationship goes on, what comes out? The true you. And either they're going to love who you are and all of your quirks, or they're not. But at the very beginning, you look perfect. This wonderful little being that's growing within inside of my daughter is beautiful. But guess what? This child's going to be born, and yes, to me, it will be perfect. It will be the most beautiful grandchild in the world ever. I'm a little biased, just like my daughter's the most beautiful child in the world. I'm biased. My mother, I'm the most beautiful child, because I'm hers. And my daughter's the most beautiful grandchild because it's her grandchild. But it's still going to be one of those days when that child looks at me and I ask it to do something and it just looks at me and says, no. And guess what? It's not going to be perfect. Or when it throws a tantrum because it didn't like this or like that, we cannot be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Nobody is going to be perfect or can ever be perfect. And I think if we realize that and we get that in our head, constellations are made up of single stars, each of them own life cycle and twinkle. There are only one star that shines like you shine. I absolutely love that, Indigo. It is so true. This year, the goal isn't perfect. It is connect. Now, see, a lot of people would sit there and they would say, you know what? You can't make connections on YouTube and social media. And guess what? If that's where you're able to make some connections, if you're able to do it out within your community, that's wonderful. But if this is a place that helps you and gives you friendships and so forth, it is just as important. It's not perfect by any stretch of the means. We know YouTube streets are not perfect, but they're pretty dang on good as far as I'm concerned. I have friends like Indigo and Juan. I have friends like Sandy Wandy. Um, I have what I consider a sister and Kristen, and I just cannot wait for the opportunity one of these days to be able to meet her. But I think we need to realize that if you're dealing with a chronic illness, maybe you're caretaking for somebody, taking care of a special needs child, maybe this is your source of connection for a portion of your life. Better you have this than have nothing. Absolutely 100%. So the pressure of perfection, okay, we can strive for perfection. I am doing a beautiful blanket for Indigo. I can guarantee you she's going to look at that blanket when she gets it and she's going to say, it's absolutely perfect. And I am going to find little things within that blanket that says, did it get? I'm looking for mistakes. Now, I haven't made a ton of mistakes. Of course, I did make a little mistake that I have to go back and fix real quick, but thank God it's not 10 rows up. But still, I'm continuously looking because I want that blanket to be perfect. She will think it's perfect, but I guarantee you there may be this stitch could have been tighter, this bobble could have been better. I'm going to be able to pick it out. And it'll never be perfect in my eyes because I'm always my worst critic when it comes to that. When it comes to cross stitch, when it comes to crochet, I am a perfectionist, especially when somebody's asking me to do something and they hired me. Hi, Carmen. Hopefully you're feeling better today. They're asking me to do it. They're giving me something to do it and so forth. I want to make sure it is perfect. And I can't always have it be perfect. So if we can't hold our standard so high that it's so perfect that we can't get it. Well, thank you very much. I'm excited about it. Same way with my writing as I am with the crocheted blankets. I know my dad, God loved him, and I did too, but I know that for a long time and for all of my life, he put his standards way up here. I could never achieve them. I was never good enough. And because of his past, he put them way up here, okay, so that nobody could hurt him. If he put his standards way up here that nobody could reach, then guess what? It made it really easy. So again, we can't put our standards so far up that we can't achieve what we need to achieve and realize we're going to make mistakes, but we have to learn from them. Well, I'm thankful, Carmen, you're here, and just being here and having the support around you is wonderful, and I'm really glad that you came back on in. And let's put in ones in the chat for anybody that's kind of struggling. That means prayers are good vibes. So we can just put that out. We can't give you a hug, but we can do it virtually, can't we? Midlife Stockton says at the end of each video, not perfect, but better. I love that I have to start adopting this for myself. Absolutely. So, perfection creates stress, comparison, and burnout. It absolutely does. When we try to put ourselves so far up, like I took a while to do that dog video for the giveaway because I wanted it perfect. Well, it couldn't have been perfect. It was as good as I could get it out, but I held off for a while because part of it was because it was dedicated to my aunt, and I knew that I was having a real hard time this month and this Christmas season, and what was going to come up tomorrow with the anniversary of my dad's passing and my grandfather's passing. And so I really kind of struggled with getting it. But once I got into it and I did it, I was like, you know what? It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. It's better than I thought in my head. I knew direction I wanted to go in, but at least I did it. And I didn't try to put myself so far that I couldn't achieve it. But it did hold me back from doing it and putting it out when I wanted to, because I just kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. I can't it can't it can make hesitant to show up unless everything looks right. Right? We have to have everything all together. We have to look right. We have to do this. We have to do that. I told a story in one of the devotions one day of, there was Elvis had got in. I can't remember what town he was in, but he was in his plane, and one of the bodyguards said, "I have a friend who would love to meet you, Elvis. Can we just hang around for a little bit and have her come to the plane and meet you?" And he said, of course, he was always up to meeting his fans. And she literally got the call and made her hair, did her makeup, wanted everything perfect. I think he was married, like that would have, so forth, and made everything perfect. Got in her car and left and went to the airport to go meet Elvis. Well, she lost her opportunity to meet Elvis because she took so long to get her hair right and her makeup right and all this kind of stuff. And he finally said, "Guess what, guys? We got to go." He said, "We got to leave." And they left. Now, for me, if I had gotten the phone call that says Elvis is at the airport, not going to happen now, but back then, Elvis is at the airport, you want to meet him, I don't care if I was in my pajamas. I'd have gone. Let's go. Get in the car, on the way. I don't care what my hair would have looked like, my makeup would have looked like. We're gone. I'd have gone in my house slippers if I had to, you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't have wanted to miss out the opportunity to meet him. And she missed out on the opportunity to meet Elvis because she was so busy. And of course, then we didn't have all the stuff we have today. But she missed out on the opportunity to meet Elvis because she was so busy getting her hair and her makeup right to have everything be right. Goodness gracious. In the car, we're on the way. I'd even gone on the highway to get there. And y'all, I don't like the highways. So we've got to stop trying to have everything look right. We have to be ourselves. If somebody is either going to like us or they're not. And if they don't like us, guess what? It's their loss, not ours. There are so many people in this world, and not everybody is going to love you or like you, and that's okay. Sometimes people, chemistries and so forth, just don't mix, and that's fine. We can have that, right? We can do that, and that's okay. It just we've got to find our people. When we find our people that we mesh well with, then we have to say, that's fine. Right? Waiting for perfect often means missing meaningful moments, like that lady with Elvis. And I know that I struggle tremendously with reading. I have dyslexia, and I could sit here going, "Oh, I don't want to go live because I'm going to read this, and I know I've already messed up several times tonight," and so forth. And I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let you all know this is not perfect. I'm going to mess up. I may have to read some stuff a couple of times. I have dyslexia. I'm not ashamed of it. I know I've had a learning disability for many years, for all my life since I was in school. I've recently kind of done research and realized I have dyslexia. It's why I do this, why I do that, all these things are fitting in. But it would have prevented me from coming live and being able to meet all these wonderful people and building a community if I had allowed the dyslexia to stop me, or my learning disability back then when I started. Perfection delays connection. I love that. So what connection really means, okay? Being present instead of polished. If you have a friend who wants to come over, I embarrass you, Mary. I saw embarrassed even though I know, and I had to reread it again, and and read it say embrace, but in my head initially, I'm thinking embarrassed, so that I can make a laugh out of it, right? I embrace you, Mary, just as you are. Love that you are authentic you, and that's what you want people to see. So again, being present instead of polished. If you are having someone over, they call you up and say, listen, I'd love to come over and just have some tea with you, or I'd like to bring lunch. And you think, oh, my house is not picked up as much as I would like. Or guess what? I don't really have any makeup on, or hair, my hair's not fixed today, and so forth. Guess what? They're not coming over to see your hair and your makeup and your perfect, pristine house. I've come into my daughter's house and my daughter say, "Oh, there's things laying around. It's not perfect." I'm not coming over to see the house. I'm coming over to see you. When she has that grandbaby, I know her house is going to be a mess because she's going to just delivered a baby. I'm not coming over to see your house. I'm coming over to help you and be with my grandchild. I'm not coming over to see your house. I'm coming over to see the people, right? And so we have to realize that if we're having in any way that we can get connection, doesn't mean that we necessarily have to be polished. We have to be our authentic selves. And that starts with accepting who you are from the start. Listening instead of performing. Sometimes we don't listen enough. Sometimes we're really not listening to somebody else, and they can tell we're thinking of the next thing we want to say after they get done with whatever they want, they're saying. Sometimes we need to be a listener. We need to listen to what people are saying, and sometimes our friends are there to say, listen, I really need to tell you this. We need to do it in a loving way. If we're going to come to them and kind of maybe do some loving criticism, about whatever is going on. We need to do it in a loving way. But sometimes when we do that, we kind of shut ourselves down and we don't listen enough to be able to accept that or improve that. Showing up as you are, not as you think you should be. Again, it goes back to we have to accept ourselves for being ourselves. We have to sit there and say, okay, we got to be us. We can't be anybody else. We got to be us. And that is exactly where we have to be our authentic self and make sure that we're showing up as us. And if people don't like us, it's their problem. It's not our problem. We will find our people for sure. Examples of that is calling someone instead of sending the perfect message. Give them a call, spend some time, find out if you can come over and watch a movie with them, take them to lunch, giving them a call, writing them a letter. I think we've forgotten the power of writing somebody a handwritten letter. When we send any of our soap caddies out and so forth, we send a letter. As we hope that our merchandise will start, maybe our merchandise, the new stuff that's coming out, maybe people will be purchasing some of that. I can't promise that we're going to send a handwritten note to people outside of the United States only because of postage. But if we can't do it, if it's outside of the United States, even if it's just an email to say thank you so much for purchasing something. But if we can, within the continental United States, the 48 states, if we can at least send a letter and say, thank you so much for purchasing something from our merch store, it really does make a difference. So maybe sending a letter, a postcard, just something to let them know. Send an email, do something to just show them that they matter in your life. Part of connection is it has to be both sides. It can't just be one-sided. It has to be showing that you matter to me. And if that person is showing you that, you need to reciprocate. You need to come back and do that. Friendship is just not one-sided. And if you're giving all the time and not getting things back in return, you need to maybe examine that a little bit, because there are people that will take and take and take and take, and they won't give back. And so sometimes you have to take a look at those friendships and make sure you're for sure putting boundaries up for those friendships. Another example is spending time together without a plan or agenda. We don't always have to have things to do. It can be as simple as, I'm coming over with some lunch. Let's just sit and chit chat. Or would you like to meet me at a local park and we can sit and talk and sit and chit chat? So it doesn't always have to be an agenda or things to do. It can just sometimes just allowing the conversation to sometimes take you in surprising ways. And sometimes it's maybe sitting there and maybe talking to somebody. Maybe if you sit down at a park bench and there's somebody sitting next to you, maybe start up a conversation. Or if you're a mom and you're going to a park and there's other moms there, start up a conversation with them, and so forth. And, I'm going to, hopefully there's maybe a mommy and me class that I could be able to, when my grandchild gets older and so forth, that my daughter could go there with them, and then we can help them with that. And I know I did a mommy and me class, and it was so wonderful. I met some wonderful people, and certainly doing things like that can initiate friendship and connection for sure. Allowing conversations to be real and not rehearsed. Again, allowing the conversation to flow and making sure that you are, just allowing the whole thing to just take it as it is. Finding out what their interest is. Sometimes we don't ask questions. And if you're struggling with, like, I don't know how to do this, look online. There are places that you can look online and be able to say ice break questions, and have some in your head to say, what's your favorite this or favorite that, or this and that, or what is your favorite, do you have a favorite vacation you took? Things that are icebreaker questions that you can find out, and maybe you would be surprised what you would find out from the individual that maybe you've been friends with for a while. Why connections matter more. Connections build trust and belonging. We need to feel as if we're belonging. We're in a group. In school, we wanted to be in the group. Well, this girl was never in the group. I was very much a loner, and I was very much bullied in school. And it really was hard because I never felt like I fit in. I remember for probably, I can't remember, several years up till about 6th grade, there was myself, another friend, and we were like the three musketeers. And wherever Mary was, these other two girls were, and then they all left at 6th grade. And I felt like I had lost my best friend. I had a teacher who was going through a divorce, and so she wasn't really there, present. She was there, but she was not there. And so it really made it difficult because I didn't feel like I had that group, that tribe, that belonging anymore. And it made it very, very difficult. We all feel like we need it. That's why we talk on this channel about community. We want you all to come together and feel like you're a part of a community. Do we appreciate our members that are here and that support the channel? Absolutely. Do we appreciate the super chats and the jewels and the super stickers? Absolutely. We are very thankful for those. But we also know that those are just to us. We are appreciative of those, but they're never expected. You guys matter. Each and every one that shows through here for all of our lives, for all of our content. You are community. You are truly the blessing behind Blessed to Crochet. And that's not just a tagline. That's very much the truth of it. People remember how you made them feel, not how flawless you appeared. Guys, I do the reason I come on here with no makeup, oftentimes without any hair, Yeah, guys, I got baby thin hair. If you haven't noticed, it's baby thin. And I really don't do the makeup, don't really do hairspray in my hair. I just come on. I want you to see me. That's one of the things. The other reason is because I know that there are people with fibromyalgia. When you put makeup on, sometimes touching your skin can hurt. And so putting makeup on and having that on can sometimes be painful to a fibromyalgia individual. I don't, sometimes if I've got to go lay down because I need a nap in the middle of the afternoon and I've hairsprayed my hair, I don't know. I don't like it. It's the sensory part of it. When I come home from church and I have my makeup on and my hair sprayed, I got to go in the shower. I take 3 showers on a Sunday. I take one when I wake up. I take one when I come home from church because I know I'm going to go have a nap, right? And I don't want any of it. Hi, Sandy. I don't want any of it in. So it's got to come out. But I come on here just as it is. Now, if I am tomorrow when we go for our, go to the to where we need to go tomorrow, I will have makeup on. I will have possibly my hairspray on and everything, or I'll put it on before we go in to the service. But again, it's not my norm. If people don't like, oh, you should have your lipstick on and your makeup on, that's not me. First of all, the makeup that I have to use is about $10 a thing, and I don't really want to spend that. I want to just be able to come in and be who I am, and here it is. Accept Mary exactly how she is 99% of the time. And hopefully that's inspiring to you. My beauty is not on the outside. Hopefully I'm not terrible to look at without makeup on and hairspray in or on, but my beauty is coming from the inside. Strong relationships grow with honesty, not perfection, right? If I came on and, I was not honest, that would not be a good thing, not for this channel, and it wouldn't be a good thing for me. If I sit here and say, well, I promise I'm going to get this and this and this out, and it doesn't happen, I'd rather say to y'all, listen, I'm going to try my very best. Like, I had to go back. I really wanted to make sure all the Advent stuff was out. It didn't happen because of various things. So all I can do is sit back and say, okay, this didn't come out. This is going to be about a month behind what I wanted. But I want to be honest with you all. I really struggled this holiday season. Am I blessed beyond measure that I'm going to be welcoming a grandbaby? Absolutely. 100%. But at the same time, I really struggled, and I had to be very honest throughout the Christmas holiday that I was really struggling because I was really missing my aunt this year. And I think knowing that this blessing is coming and I can't share it with my dad, I can't share it with my aunt, finding out if my maid of honor passed away on the same day my aunt did, and beginning of November, all really affected me. And it really made it difficult. And I had to come to y'all and just be honest. But that made the connection there even more real. I thought, I can't make it perfect. If y'all are looking for a perfect channel, you go someplace else because it's not going to be here. We're not going to have this pristine channel. We're going to have just a channel, but full of authentic me. And at the end of the day, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm going to do the very best I can. And that's all I can do, and that's all you can do. And sometimes our best is sometimes a little bit less than what we would like it to be. We could have done better. I could have done better today. I didn't fall asleep till about 4 o'clock in the morning. I slept till 12 because I just had, I slept in late because I fell asleep late. And I should have had more recordings out today. I should have had this. None of it happened. And I have to just say, okay, Mary, you did the best you can. Tomorrow's going to be hard. That is the anniversary of the passing of my grandfather. The first is the passing of my dad. We're going to a service for someone. And so it's going to be a little hard day for this girl. And probably this girl's kind of feeling it in a lot of different areas. And of course, my sciatic nerve is just, we're not even going to go there, but I can tell you where I'd like to take that one. I'd like to dump it in the nearest lake because it's really causing some havoc lately again. So it's put a little damper on things that I would like to not have a damper on. So just do something while I remember that. Hold on a second, guys. I don't know if I did this before I came on. I don't think I did. Okay. All right. So letting go of good enough guilt. It's okay to be unfinished. We are works in progress, guys. We are not perfect. We're works in progress throughout our life. We are not perfect. So, absolutely realizing that we need to sit there and say to ourselves, it's okay to be unfinished. It's better that you show up than you strive for perfection. It's okay to be learning. If we're not learning, we're not living. We're learning every day. We should be learning every day. There's never a time that we stop learning. Now, it doesn't mean that we need to be in books if we're not people that are like books. To me, reading a book is torturous. I don't enjoy that. But learning, listening, doesn't mean that we need to be in school or anything like that. We just need to be learning and learning from things that we could have done better. We can always do better, and we can always grow, and we can always do all that. And we need to be learning every solitary day. You don't have to have everything figured out to be valuable. You don't need to be perfect to be present. I love that. You don't need to be perfect to be present. You don't have to have everything figured out to be valuable. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I sure in heck don't have everything figured out. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I don't have everything figured out yet. And I probably won't have everything figured out till the time that I leave this world. And then I'll be perfect. But until then, I have I'd like to have everything a lot more figured out than I do. It's not going to happen. I'm going to do the very best I can. But it doesn't change my value. Just because I struggle with reading and I have difficulty in certain areas doesn't change who I am. I think I have a lot of value to put out there. And, we have to accept who we are 100%. Choosing connection one, I don't think that code's going to do anything. If you want to do your channel, it's #blessed. My mods have a certain code for their channels just because I want them to be able to put their code in. But for everybody else, it's #blessed. So choosing connection in your everyday life at home, quality time over ideal routines. You know, one thing I've told my daughter, when you have this child, if you have things that need to get done, maybe the laundry, right? Maybe that's okay. Maybe the laundry, it made me laugh for a minute. Maybe the laundry, maybe certain other things that need to get done, but they're not pressing, okay? If your child falls asleep in your arms, sit there. Maybe it'll be an hour. Maybe it'll be a half an hour. Sit there. Do not allow, right? Do not allow things to be rushed at all. Because unlike any other time in your life, and I don't know if I have this code yet. If not, I'll have to put it in. I'm going to try it. It may not do anything. I can't remember if I did that code while I'm doing that. I may have to add that code. Because that's going to be the code for Christina's registry. It's not anything yet. It took a moment to see. If it was something... I'm trying to remember something and I can't. All right. So I've said to her, I need to add it. I've said to her, just sit back and enjoy it. Don't try to rush this time, right? Don't try to rush it. Because in any other time in your life, when you have your next child is going to be seeking your attention. Okay? You sitting there with this little one for a half an hour, 45 minutes as it sleeps in your arms. Well, everything else can just wait a moment. Is the only time in your life that you're going to necessarily be able to do that in total peace and quiet. When you have your next child, you're going to be having that child in your arms with the one that was in your arms busily around you. You're not going to have necessarily the luxury of sitting there for 45 minutes and examining, believe it or not, every detail of that child's face. Just watching that child breathe, listening to the little things it makes, feeling it in your arms. Because before you know it, it's going to be walking down the aisle, right? Or it's going to be at the end of the aisle, depending on whether it's a boy or girl. So you've got to enjoy that moment. At work, collaboration over competition. Find ways when you're at work to come together and make collaboration. See if you can come up or work with someone else. Ask your boss, can I work with so-and-so? Maybe they would have other ideas that you hadn't even thought of to make things even better. Teamwork always is best. And then I think that comes off too as well in a home environment. My mother used to say, okay, Saturday mornings at a certain time, we're all going to come in as a family. We turned on the music and it was time to go through and, get things picked up around the house. So make it fun. Bring it together. Find ways to do that. Online, authenticity over curated perfection. That's what we've tried to do on this channel. I don't know why I have my nose is itching. We have tried to be authentic. Hopefully you can see this is the girl you get here is exactly who this girl is. Exactly what Mom is. We're trying to be authentic. And that's how you're going to get absolutely one. That's how you're going to get people to come on in. If you are trying to put on an air, if you're trying to put on something you're not, they're going to realize it. It's going to come right through. You don't think it is, but it's going to come right through. We're actually talking in Tuber Chat a little bit about not using AI to the point where it makes it non-authentic. And like we've tried to do it with some of the thumbnails and some of the merch, we've used it to assist us. But we're not using it to the point where we're not trying to be the authentic people that we are, right? I know. God made us this way. Sometimes I wonder, but I've learned to live with it as best I can. So, I can use it to assist, but I can't use it to become me. And that's where I have to balance it out. You have to put some part of you in the descriptions that you may say, AI, here, create this, or AI, create a thumbnail, or so forth, or some of the stuff we've done for the merch, I've said, okay, create this or create that. But then there was a part of it that was an authentic, authentic ourselves. And it really made that, like the picture that we're using for one of the ones that say, be proud of being yourself. Christina usually she has blonde hair, but that day she had a little bit of red hair. And it shows in the picture that she had like red highlights in her hair. And so it shows in the cartoon image. And I kind of just said, you know what, I could change this to another picture with her blonde hair. And I thought, that was a really special time that Christina and my mom and I went to the conference for the first time. That picture has meaning behind it. And I think we were trying to do pink in honor of Patty. So that picture has some kind of meaning behind it. There's something behind that picture. So it's not just an ordinary picture. I'm going to keep the hair just the way it is. It's a cartoon image. But I'm just going to keep the hair the way it is because there was a meaning behind it. It was a meaningful picture to us. And hopefully you all enjoy it too if that's the one, the design you want to go with. We also did the design without Mr. Blessed to Crochet and us in case you all don't want us on a shirt. But the point of it is I added something that was meaningful to me in order to make it more personal and more authentic. Here's some questions to think about. Where have I been choosing perfection instead of people? Have you? Right? Have you been, I've got to be perfect, or I don't want to go to this event because I don't know what they're going to think of me, and so forth. And, well, I don't have anything to wear to this event, or whatever it is. I won't go because I just don't know what it's going to be like. I mean, think about it. There's times we choose perfection or we make excuses for ourselves instead of being able to put ourselves into an environment where we can connect with people and make those relationships happen. What would change if you showed up imperfect but present? I think we need to realize that no matter what, we are going to show up imperfect in almost every situation. Right? Better that we're imperfect. We better show up as ourselves, which if we show up as ourselves, we're going to be imperfect individuals. So if we're going to do that, then we have to be able to say, okay, we're going to be imperfect and we just got to show on up and be there and say, we're going to be just exactly how we are, and we're going to go with it. And so that's how we have to do it. We have to say, okay, we're going to show up exactly how we are, right from the get-go. And who do I want to reconnect with this year? We have to decide, are there people that we need to kind of mend relationships with? Are there people that we need to reconnect with this year? Are there people we need to say, that relationship served me for a season in my life, and now I need to let it go? I've had to kind of do that with that family member that I would have loved to reconnect. I did reach out to them and let them know that we were expecting our first grandbaby and that Christina was going to be expecting, and they have not answered back. So guess what? I'm done. I love them. It absolutely tears my heart out that had to come to that over whatever. None of it made any sense to any of us, but it's their choice and their prerogative. But after no response, after the good news that I sent, I'm just done. I'm done trying. I've just kind of said, in my head, have a wonderful life. Hope you have a wonderful and blessed life. I love you. Thank you for everything. And I've kind of just washed my hands. They will not receive, of course, Christina doesn't want any pictures on social media, but they won't receive a single picture. None from me. They happen to see one, fine, but they're not going to receive any images of what this child looks like because I'm done. To me, that was rude. At least you could have said, that's wonderful news, I'm excited or something. But to not even respond, to not even acknowledge it, to even try to make an effort to come back, I'm just saying, you know what? I don't need that in my life. I don't need that kind of energy. I don't need that, toxic, as far as I'm concerned. Neither does my daughter. And it just makes me very sad. And again, I'm very thankful, but I can do no more than that. So sometimes we need to choose people that we need to reconnect with, make amends with, heal those relationships. And sometimes when we're going into the new year, we have to think, you know what? We have to let this go. So this year does not mean, this year doesn't need to be flawless, but to be meaningful. Like we're going to talk about how to make moments into legacies. We have to choose meaningful over flawless. For instance, I probably won't ever forget this Christmas that we celebrated with the kids. Was it perfect? No. Did I want it perfect? Yes. Unfortunately, as I put the steaks into the pot to cook, the stove, we got it working again. The stove stopped. So I'm taking my bare hand and putting it on the stove, realizing I don't think I should be able to put my bare hand on a stove with a thing turned to high. The oven stops, everything stops. There is no heat. Thankfully, the green bean casserole was cooked, the bread was cooked. All that I'm so thankful was done. But we had to, of course, cook the steaks. We had to do the shrimp, and we had to have the steaks at a certain temperature for Christina because of the pregnancy. So guess what? All I could sit there and say, what do we do now? Because there's something wrong. We've got the steaks and they're only just a little bit cooked and everything decided to quit. Thank God we had the propane in the grill because we could turn on the grill. Thank goodness it wasn't doing what it was doing on Monday, snowing like it was, and there was 3 feet of snow outside and all that. And we could turn on the grill and get the steaks cooked. It was about 50 degrees. And we could get them all cooked. Well, thank goodness for that. So was it perfect? No. Did it work out? Yes, it did. So we have to sit there and go, okay, it worked, right? Was it perfect? No, it wasn't. But I'm thankful we had it. I probably won't ever forget it. But at the same time, we all came together as a family and it became meaningful. It was still a meaningful night. Wonderful gifts. And then I had gotten my son-in-law, which I would highly recommend. I'm actually going to put it in the Linktree store with an Amazon affiliate link because Mama's an Amazon affiliate. We got Uno. If you're an Uno lover, it's Uno No Mercy. And we had a laugh and a half. It was funny. It was a neat game, a little bit more of a turn on Uno, and so it was really pretty cool. So we did Uno No Mercy, and we played that. It was still wonderful. I still will remember it, but it wasn't how I thought it was going to be. The steaks weren't cooked perfectly because of everything, but we enjoyed our meal. We had family. We connected with each other, and that's the most important. Connection, Uno No Mercy. I'm going to put it in the link tree. It is fun. My daughter and my son-in-law both said that it actually was more fun than the regular Uno. We had a blast. Connection creates memories, growth, and fulfillment. It really does. I think that this year I really tried to come live every day, and there was, for the most part, I did. But there was some times that I didn't. And because of that, I really kind of struggled this year with the things on a couple of days. I just couldn't go live for one reason or another. But you guys helped Cards Against Humanity too, although it can get crazy very fast. I will have to look that up because my son-in-law likes games, so I'm looking for games of some kind. I'll have to look that one up. But again, there were some days that I just couldn't go live, but I also knew that getting connected with you all was so important, as I was really kind of struggling this year. And you guys really did help me through kind of a rough December, and I'm very, very grateful for it. Connection does make a difference, and it needs to be one of the things I think we need to focus more as we go into 2026. If you are trying to grow a YouTube channel, look at connecting with other channels, collaborating with other channels. If you want growth to happen, connection is certainly the key. If you want to go into chats, people will know you have a YouTube channel. It's great to be able to drop your link, but making those connections happening, talking within the chat. I'm going to ask everybody to really do a favor for us, if possible. If you are we'll get done with these lives, I know that sometimes I get delayed in making the comments back, but really, I'm going to be putting out a community post. If you guys can comment back on the videos, it really makes a difference. The thumbs up are great. Watching them is great. All of that. But if there's no comments on the videos, and I can see video after video, sometimes there's comments, but a lot of times there's not. That interaction really, really helps us. What it does for you is it's leaving your footprint there. If you want people to find your channel, put your name in there, make a comment, because when people go back through the videos, having those comments and that interaction, it will push it out further. Giving the thumbs up is really, really important too, but also commenting after the video is really, really important. And that, of course, makes more connection and so forth. Choosing progress, presence, and people. I love that. If we can remember the 3 P's for 2026. Progress. Progress does not mean that we need to change everything about us, right? We talked about that yesterday. Everything about us, and then all of a sudden we're gonna be a new you, right? No, we're redefining ourselves. We're making progress. Like in the blanket that I'm making for Indigo, every day I'm making progress. It's getting further. It's getting bigger. It's changing. I'm making the progress in it every solitary day. Presence. We need to be present when we're around people. Sometimes when we're around people, we spend more time in our phones than we do with them. We need to put the phones down. All right. When my kids were over on Christmas, phone was down. I guarantee you that when this grandbaby comes for the first Christmas, my phone won't even be on me unless it's taking pictures. Absolutely. I want to be present and there. I want my daughter to have to know that I'm present, my son-in-law, my grandbaby. I want them to know they matter. And by us putting the phones down or whatever we need to do to make sure that happens. People are important. It was why I did that video about Elvis and what he said once he gave a woman that wheelchair. When she said, the bodyguard says, I don't think she knows who you were. It doesn't matter. Somebody cares about her. And we need to show that. We need to show people, hey, we care about you. You are valued. You are worth it. You are part of a community. And we need to do that. This year, I am choosing, I love this. I absolutely love this. This year, I'm choosing connection even when it is messy. We are messy people. I say that a lot in the devotions. We are messy people. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. We say sometimes the wrong thing. If you have dyslexia, sometimes things will come out and they're not always sitting the way they should or come out the way they're supposed to be saying. And so we have to realize we're messy, messy people. And if we have friends that are going to criticize us every step of the way, they're the wrong friends. And we need to have that dialogue with each other. If we've said something that was hurtful to somebody, then they need to feel comfortable enough to say, you know what, that really hurt me. and be able to do that. And I have done that with even in our church as somebody, and they came at me a little bit, and it was kind of like, you know what, I don't really agree with this. And I don't really appreciate this. And they said, oh, that's not what I meant. Text sometimes how things go through. And she took what I was saying wrong. I took what she was saying wrong. And we realized, wait a minute, that's not what we mean. I was on a live and I had somebody say something and I said, oh no. And I was ready to get off the whole thing and walk away. Now, since then, that person has made that video private, but, I had to say nope. And as soon as they stopped talking, I respectfully came back and I said, you know what? I really don't appreciate that. And we were able to talk it out and work it out, and it was fine. And that wasn't the only reason that the video was made private. But anyway, that was a while back ago. But the point I'm trying to say is sometimes we need to stand up for ourselves. We need to do it respectfully. We need to do it in a way that is honoring to other people. But we also need to stand our ground and make sure that we feel as if we're heard and listened to. And I did. I felt like I was heard and listened to. And realizing that we are going to be messy people. Maybe somebody's going to say something and that's not what they meant. And you huff and puff about it. We need to realize we need to talk with each other and realize that we need to have a dialogue with each other. I think about this family member in our lives that has just kind of said, okay, we're going to take almost 50 years of family and just throw it in the garbage. And I'm thinking, for what? We couldn't work this out. We couldn't talk this out. Am I that not as valued enough to do that? You're certainly valued enough for me to sit and we can talk this out and we can work this out. According to you, I'm not. And that makes me so sad. That I can't share this good things that's happening in our lives with this individual like I thought I would. It's one of the last kind of attachments that I have to my dad, and that's gone. I have one more and that's about it. And it makes me really sad. But I can't do any more than just say, thank you for everything you did. Love you. Have a great life. Bye. And that's it. So I think that we need to realize that we have to sit and realize connection really, it doesn't fix everything, but it helps in so many ways. We have to make the connections. We have to come together. We have to be there for each other. We have to be there for community. And if this is the way and some of the way you're getting your connection, wonderful. Don't let anybody feel as if that this is not a real place in which you to be able to have that. Absolutely. If it is helping you get through your day to just have a community or several of them on YouTube, embrace it. Really that. Embrace it. Embrace you. Embrace who you are. Don't try to be somebody you're not. It never works out. It fails miserably every solitary time. So I hope that was a little bit into really choosing connection and just showing up, being yourself, being proud of who you are. And last night with our topic, I did a song, and I'll go ahead and play that now. I have to remember where it is. I'll go ahead and play that now. It was a great song, and it was talking about being a refined you versus not just not making a new you, but being a more refined you. And I will be putting it out in a video, but it's going to be a little bit. Hopefully, this song can be a song that you can use. It's kind of like a little battlefield, or a little not a battlefield, but a little bit of an inspirational song for you to have this year as you're going through, to remember that you are continuously under construction. You're not perfect, but you're refining yourself. And so let's go ahead and play this song real quick as we're finishing this up.
The calendar flips, the lights shine bright. Midnight whispers, you'll be alright. Everyone's saying, start again. But you've been growing right where you've been. Every step, every tear you cried, every door that closed, every time you tried. Nothing was wasted, nothing's untrue. It was all shaping the heart of you. You don't have to run from yesterday. It brought you here in a quiet way. Not a new you, not starting over, just clearer eyes and a stronger shoulder. All that you've been is carrying you through. Not a new you, refine you. Refine you. The cracks tell stories of standing tall, of getting back up after every fall. You're not broken, you're becoming whole. Gold in the fire, soul in control. The years may mark you, but they don't define. They polish the truth that was there all the time. You don't lose yourself when the seasons move. You're learning who you were meant to be true. Let go of fear, keep what's true. The best of you is still in you. Not a new you, not starting over, just deeper roots and a steady posture. Every moment helps shape the view. Not a new you, refine you. Refined you. So breathe it in, this brand new year. Walk it out without the fear. You're not late, you're right on time. Becoming better, line by line. Not a new you, no disguise. Just truer words and open eyes. You don't have to change who you are to break through. Not a new you, a refine you. A refine you. When the year unfolds and the days come through, remember this truth. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming more you.
Yes, I agree too. I like that one. And we're going to take turn that off before every time. I don't know what happened to Nightbot. Just stop being Nightbot. I don't know why. It's doing something. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to take a moment and thank our members. It's never expected. It is appreciated. They do help support the channel. We have a 99-cent membership that is that is thank you very much. And we have a $2.99 membership that is Blessed Disco Ball membership, and that gets the videos out early. We are going to start next year offering and allowing both a thank you very much and the Blessed Disco Balls with us a little bit of discount in our merch store. So we'll be giving them a special code, one for the 99-cent membership and another one for the $2.99, and that code probably will change about every 2 or 3 months just to make sure that it's a little different. But we will certainly be doing that and offering that, because hopefully you all like the new merch that's coming out, but that we will do on Saturday. So let's take a moment, thank our members. It's never expected, but it is appreciated for your support.
Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Thank you very much.
And we're also going to take a moment right before we leave. We did this one last year, and I just want to remind everybody on YouTube Shuffle. We'll play this one too as well before we head on out of here. Remembering that connection. There's connection to the left. There's connection to the right. If we can remember this too, and we're going to start Blessings Through Connection next week, back at that again. But again, this is just to remind you that if you can change that button, that red button, from the subscribe button, which we're just so thankful for all of our subscribers. If you will change it to the connection button in your head, it changes how you look at YouTube. Because if you realize I am subscribed to Hulu and a couple other streaming services, I am not emotionally connected with them. I am connected with certain channels because I have friends in those channels. So if you say that that is my connection button, that changes how you look at channels. And says, you know what, I want to connect with this channel. I want to connect with this individual. So let's take a moment and play the YouTube Shuffle. Hopefully it's still here. And I have to actually change that outro just a little bit. The outro for all the shorts, I have to add the new logo in. Hopefully I still got it and I can pull it up pretty easily. Change the logo, because that is changing as of January the 2nd. So hopefully y'all love the new logo. You love some of the new merch that is coming out. That also helps to support the channel. We're excited. I'm actually going to get myself a shirt that says "Proud to be me, everyone else is taken," with our faces on it. If you saw the thumbnail for Saturday, new merch, new year, you will see one of the designs. Hopefully you like that one. And if you saw that video we just did, it has one of the designs on there too as well. So I'm going to get off here. I've got several things to do. One of them is to do a little bit more recording, and then we have to be up pretty early tomorrow morning. Actually, we'll probably be needing to leave here about 6:30 in the morning. So be praying for our safety. We'll be doing a very early live for sure. And then we'll be heading on up. We'll want some extra time, and we have to go to where they're having the service. And then we have to make another stop over to one of Christina's doctors and pick something up for her. So I doubt I'm going to have very much of anything. I'm probably going to go home and collapse. I will try to set up something. I'm going to kind of see how I feel, guys. I will, even if it's just, I may come live like at 11:50 right before midnight, just so I can celebrate it with you all. But we're going to kind of see how I feel tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit of an emotional day for me on it as a whole. And, we'll just see. I don't think it'll be anything like last year, but we'll kind of see how I'm feeling. And again, be looking out tomorrow at 8 o'clock, because Dog the Bounty Hunter giveaway will be out. And if I can get any of these edited, I will. If not, it is what it is. There's one I'm going to from a faith-based perspective, because I took last night's topic and I made it from a faith-based perspective for the people that want to watch that. So look out for us tomorrow morning. I'm not really putting that live necessarily scheduled, because it may be really dark for like the first half an hour when we're on the road. So it may be like halfway into it before we go live, but we'll see. But anyway, wish us luck tomorrow. So with that being said, I'm going to head out here and try to go ahead and record a couple things before I say goodnight and get them done. But if you don't see a lot of the Advent devotions coming out to finish the series, it's because I don't want to bury Dog the Bounty Hunter video just yet. But it may be about 2 weeks before we get down the road and so forth and do that. So with that being said, I'm going to hop off here. I keep saying that. So remember to be proud of being you. Everybody else is taken. Keep crocheting that connection. No crochet hook is required. We have you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. Thank you for being here tonight. I really, really appreciate it. And come back on January 1st as we sit here and we talk about, turning your YouTube channel into a legacy channel. And join us tomorrow when we're on the road. I don't know when it will be, but it will be sometime tomorrow, of course. And look out for the Dog the Bounty Hunter video too as well. Love y'all. Bye-bye, everybody, and stay safe and enjoy the last day tomorrow of 2025, going into 2026, as we're going to refine ourselves, refine ourselves, and not start from scratch. So love y'all. Have a blessed day or night wherever you're seeing this, and bye-bye for now.
So proud of